Welcome back to Mad Assets. We're going to be talking about our Supercycle theory for this bull run and an event called Rare Evo. This is what you see on the screen right now. This is a blockchain event held in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's an amazing event. We went last year with the family. We're going again. It was actually difficult for us to try to work it out this time. So I encourage you, if you are thinking about attending this event or you haven't heard of it, there's ways where you can get some tickets. We'll look into that. And let me show you the website here. This is the Rare Evo website. Okay. This is the homepage. You just kind of scroll down. There's a lot of really neat things going on. There's the general admission ticket. That's what we got. You got the VIP ticket. There's the whale pass. There's all kinds of things. Look at these guest speakers. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you there's some ways where you could probably figure out how to get some discounts on those tickets. You got Charles Hoskinson. He's giving a keynote address Friday morning at 9 o'clock. Everybody from the industry. Mickey Watkins last year, the founder of World Mobile. We ran into him, talked to him with my son. He actually followed up with us later on and sent my son to his wallet 2,500 World Mobile tokens. Gosh, there's so many industry leaders here. The whole video could be dedicated to it. So it's jam-packed. You got Daniel Freeman with Palmyra. I'm going to be doing a video on Palmyra. I'll show you how my staking is going. In that realm, you got the founders of Iagon. I mean, there's so many Vesper wallets. You got Nuvola, all some familiar faces and new faces. Look at how just incredible this list goes. You got Marvin Burton from Maestro, also a co-founder of Genius Yield. Oh my God, you got Input Output, you got Cardano Foundation, you got Emergo, you got all the founding entities, builders galore. There's so many reasons why you should try to figure out how to get to Rare Evo. And if you go to Rare Evo, send me a message. And if I see you there, I'll drop you a special NFT to your wallet. It's just a way for us to connect. And that's Rare Evo. Yeah, we're going to go on this Thursday. So it's coming up. We'll probably do some content there for sure. My wife is going to be partnering up with Stuff.io and their interactive booth this year. And that's going to be really exciting and fun. And so we're excited. Okay, so Rare Evo. Just wanted to let y'all know. Now, let's go to the Supercycle theory real quick. This isn't going to be a long video. We're going to look at the Supercycle theory. And right now, you're looking at the Bitcoin chart. It's got a lot of stuff on it. We're going to be thinking of supercycles, right? This is a topic that I've heard a lot amongst inside traders or insiders, meaning people who are in the game, in and out, in the trenches every day. They're day trading. They're also in more traditional finance markets, stocks, things like that. We are looking at a potential for a super cycle. Okay. And why I bring that up is if I'm going to actually move this over to try to get out of the dark theme because I think it looks a little better here. This is my 4-year Bitcoin liquid index. This is the longest historical chart that Bitcoin has on TradingView. So it goes all the way back here to, 2010 in a sense. And I put this together probably 5-6 years ago at this point, and I just leave it here. It's not my main Bitcoin chart. And what you see is the red boxes indicate a decline in price, so a retracement, a bear market, and then followed by this green bull market. And then if we look at this here real quick, if we sort of extract the time all the way over to where we are now, this is, let me switch over to the yearly so you could see that. So we're in the weekly here. Oh, you know what? It's funny on this one, 12 months. It's going to jack up the chart pretty significantly. But what I'm trying to show you is the years of time, because that's extremely significant when we look at these super cycles. And so this is 15 bars or 15 years. And if you really frame it out to when Bitcoin first started, it goes back to 2009, right? It actually was in its beginning in 2009, but the data in this chart started in 2010. So if you take This chart here, you wrap it out to where we are today. That's 15 bars. That's 15 years of time plus that 1 year, right? So that's 16 years. Now, if you go ahead and do some research on your own, you'll realize that when a asset finally reaches its 16-year mark, there is a potential for an odd type of bull market scenario to happen. And here we are in Bitcoin's 16 years worth of time. Lots of investors, traditional investors, family offices, big box banks types of things, Wall Street, venture capital, all the like, they really want to see that amount of history before they make their financial decisions to like really dive into an asset in lots of cases, especially on a large scale, because 16 years of time gives you incredible data. You see me in my videos go to something like MinSwap or Cornucopias or Liquid Finance, even Cardano. The chart length of history is laughable in that sense, as far as it's concerned time-wise, where there's only 2 years worth of data, right? So how can you make a massive understanding and decision when you're a fiduciary with like billions of dollars worth of holdings? It's not responsible from their mentality. So when something goes through a 16-year process, the likelihood of it actually then having a massive adoption phase, putting that bull market in the 16th year well above the performance of past bull cycles. Okay. And so if we flip back to the weekly chart, we'll pop back over here to Bitcoin. Okay. We'll reset. And here we are in our Bitcoin chart, right? And we can see from the last bull cycle where it really hit its 12-year mark, this bull cycle it looks like it was just chopped in half. It looks like it was just cut right off, right? And this was COVID, this was all kinds of insanity. And so here we are approaching our 16 years of time. And we really haven't seen any crazy growth by this point. This time last year, if we look at Cardano, this time last year in August was the very bull top, right? So if we look at the bull top back here in August of 4 years ago, August 30th. So at the end of the month, in the beginning of the month, where were we at? May. Let's look at August. August 2nd, right here, this little candle where we're at, that is where it started to pop off. And this was the bull top, and it sort of retraced down. But where we are with Cardano, and you could sense some of these indicators when you look across the space of the cryptocurrency market overall, when you factor in altcoins. Okay, you have the administration in the US talking about a digital asset reserve. Other countries are competing for the same sort of asset reserve. There's also the Bitcoin strategic reserve, and you don't see much action, right? It's been sideways, it's been down, it's been dismal. Well, this is because I think we are on the precipice of something we have never seen before in the cryptocurrency space, which is full out adoption. I mean, I'm talking crazy adoption like you've never seen before. So if you're in a place of feeling like, what the heck's going on? Or gosh, I invested over here and it's $1.14 and man, I'm still down. I would just encourage you to stay the course and be patient and understand that we are in the footsteps right now leading up to something that perhaps has never been seen before across the entire digital asset space, where every moment previously in the altcoins and in Bitcoin's history has just been speculation by retail investors. So no institutions primarily, no digital asset reserves. We're not even talking about like governments having these digital asset reserves, but all of the major banks. Like you could think of anyone. Think of Goldman Sachs. Think of JP Morgan. Think of the many family offices. Think about Dubai and Saudi Arabia, all these massively, Hong Kong, Singapore. It's a worldwide asset that doesn't close on Friday night. You can trade it Sunday morning. It never sleeps, and there's so much competition, and these assets are scarce, deflationary in most cases. And so what does that mean when we jump into a massive all-out adoption phase? You might see a bull market like you've never seen before. And in our theory of the supercycle dynamic, this would extend way past the traditional bull top that you have seen every single 4 years, like clockwork. Honestly, every 4 years, it has been like clockwork, these bull markets and bear markets. Like I just showed you in that previous chart where I have the green and the red shaded areas. It's literally clockwork. Look up the Bitcoin stock to flow ratio chart, which I have on my videos also. It's like clockwork. Well, that's why the supercycle theory comes in play here. It doesn't operate in that fashion anymore. Everybody might think this will be when the bull market tops, where all of the other markets will follow, altcoins. But what if that's different? What if there is some extension? Okay, and you see this other blue mark over here. You see this blue indicator, right? I have this arrow way out over here because you can't deny the reality of a massive supercycle. That puts Bitcoin at a larger than normal gain, especially because we're coming off of a decapitated bull market scenario in the last cycle. We're at the 16-year mark, which eclipses a fantastic delta that's psychological for institutional investors. Okay, we have all kinds of things brewing. You have many things brewing, especially in the Cardano ecosystem, that come out next year, like Midnight, like a lot of the altcoins or layer twos building on Cardano as well, like are really becoming upgraded after this year. It's like everything that I see in all the channels and all the assets, all the meta assets that we're in are coming into a fruition phase at the end of this year. You think of OrcFax, the Oracle network. You think of stablecoins, what's going on with JED 2.0. You have Ouroboros Leos coming out. You have the sidechain, Midnight, like we talked about. These contribute to scalability and efficiency like never before. Cornucopias is really going to launch its metaverse game next year. It's all sort of brewing, in my view, to have some super cycle delayed action. So now's the time to be patient, to be informed, to understand where you're at in the market and not look at the previous bull cycles to give you that lens to where you can speculate. Perhaps this is exactly what's going to happen right over here. It should be around December, January of 2025. This is a standard thing. Well, you might be mistaken. And so when we get to that point and and we're climbing up, you might have some bullish momentum coming this month, right? August is normally a hot month. We flow into September. It could be in the holiday season, could give exuberance, and around that December, January time zone, you might be thinking this is the top. And what if you sell everything at the top, right? I mean, who knows? And then it retraces down like crazy for 2 months, 3 months. But we're in a super cycle. And you're out of the market thinking we're going into this traditional bear cycle. All the way down here for over a year, and then sideways for a year. But what happens is maybe it rallies to some unprecedented metrics. And so this is what we're going to be taking a look at. We're studying this every single day. We are in the trenches right now, factoring in all types of psychologies, keeping our ear to the street, if you will, and factoring in many of these things because we don't want to miss out, but we also don't want to make a mistake. So we want to be educated and knowledgeable, and this is why crypto fluency is a powerful resource and tool for you to use. We're going to go back to our website right here. This is where we are revolutionizing DeFi in the Cardano ecosystem. And so if you want to start your adventure, you want to get more dialed in, this is literally a giveaway. We're basically, it's $15 just because of we're minting it. But this is worth its weight in gold for you, and you can get your workbook version. We talked about that last video. We're partnered with Stuff.io. They are massive in this space. We're so proud and happy to be working with them. You go ahead and you click that little button. You can see the buying options. You can pay US dollar with your credit card or connect your wallet and do it that way because it's Web3. It almost educates you in the process of doing it. This is going to help you understand everything you need to know from beginner passing through the belts, white belt, blue belt, purple belt, as you get into more of a black belt understanding. These workbook courses are fantastic. We're going to be doing some of this distribution of these workbooks at Rare Evo. So if you're there, I have something special for you. Find me, send me a message. I met some people last year that watched the channel, and so that was really exciting, and I hope to see you there also. And that wraps it up for today. This is just a quick and short and sweet video as you watch these beautiful artistic workbook covers, sort of slide by in the screen here. We're talking about what's coming in one of the most technical, Wild Westy type of bull markets perhaps the cryptocurrency space has ever seen. And when we look back in history, we want to say that we did that right? We did it right. We didn't FOMO in. We didn't FUD ourselves out. We stayed the course. We were patient, and we actually went back and we did the right thing. And so nothing will be perfect. I'll tell you that right now. Nobody has this crystal ball or do perfect. But when we look back in history, and folks in the future look back in history 10, 20 years from now, and they say, oh my gosh, look at what happened during that 2025, 2026 time zone. And my God, what would it have been like to be involved in that, to be in position, to have understood the opportunity? I don't know about you, but I do that a lot in my life when I look back at stocks like that I did not have the opportunity because I was too young in the internet bubble. But what would it have been like to be in those positions? And I've talked to those people, some of them who've actually worked for Apple and created some patents and helped Apple with certain features working for the company, who got crazy stock from Apple and were able to retire at a young age. I live out here in the suburbs of Philadelphia, where we have some wildly interesting people living amongst our hills. And so it's not forgotten on me that this is another one of these main crazy opportunities that come around probably like this never before. So I view it as more than just once in a lifetime. This might be once in a generation or ever in history. So with that said, let's get excited. Hope to see you at Rare Evo, and stay tuned.